The lighting's not really great in here, but it's all good. Um, like the mass shooters now, um, the last few have either been peacefully brought in or, um, like I remember a time that, well, they probably still do it and they probably still will do it, where, um, somebody does a really heinous thing, and then the next thing they do, they take their own life. So you don't know anything. All you know about is maybe what they left on social media and whatnot. Um, but it seems like, you know, the last couple of months when things like this have happened and people have, uh, you know, committed these crimes, murdering uh, groups of people at a time who happen to be black or of color, or in places where black and people of color are hanging out. Um, these people are getting back to the police stations and taking their mug shots, and they don't have any blemishes. There, it seems like there was no struggle. They just killed a bunch of people and either just peacefully gave up or was allowed to um, walk into wherever the police station was and turn themselves in. And look, I'm not trying to be paranoid about this or think weird about this. The only thing I can just see is only thing I can judge is what I just see. And it seems like these people are doing these heinous crimes and peacefully surrendering or turning themselves in almost as a form of protection. Could it be that they are seeking protection because they obviously are feeling like they're accomplishing something positive for their cause? Um, and there's definitely a growing, well, it's always been there, it's just more revealed now, where, you know, the racism situation is becoming more and more in the experience of everyone. And I definitely don't like speaking about it because I think that ultimately it can potentially amplify the frequency on it, because I think that is a low vibrational frequency. Racism is a low vibrational frequency. It's extremely low. Um, and to participate in dealing with that, even if it's in a way presenting to help someone, as this is, I'm speaking directly to black men who see the weirdness that we see, and we feel very, very caged in, that our opinions don't matter, that our feelings don't matter, most importantly, that we need to just continue with the old programming of singing about it, walking and marching, voting and praying, listening to preachers talk about forgiveness and how we should love everybody, and you know quoting all the Martin Luther King quotes before he started realizing that him speaking nonviolence, uh, even in a constructive manner, to actually go about using the system to help us instead of us going and physically doing something. Um, he come to the conclusion that that was not the right thing. Um, and towards the end of his life, he got more into, um, I would say, wanting true freedom for Black people. And if that meant giving us land and money so we can set things up for ourselves, then that's what needed to happen. And then they killed him. you know? Like as soon as he gets to the point where it's about to get good, now of something, they gotta go. Um, so it's like, especially black folks, they champion um, Martin Luther King for his nonviolence, um, rather than um, participating in things that are more self-love oriented and self-esteem driven, like, you know, if you hit me, I'm probably going to hit you back. If you do something out of the ordinary to me, something may happen to you. Not to say or promote anything. I'm just saying that we've gotten to the point where uh, racism also is just one other thing for black folks to be divided on. And this is why I said what I said towards religious people at the end of the last part, because for whatever reason, um, they can't look at what's happening to black folks in a real time, real life scenario. Everything that we are going through as black people in this country, they're trying to find a biblical verse to fit it and trying to find a biblical analogy to help us feel better about the utter hatred that we endure, which we rarely do anything about, other than, like I said, the singing and the marching and praying and all that kind of weird stuff. So a lot of my venom is towards black folks who are choosing to stay in their Bible about an issue that we all need to be unified on, instead of just closing it and having discussions amongst each other about what we can do as a whole to protect our very own communities, and even going so far as black folks being in command of policing our own communities, because the police that they have in most of these communities now are not there for our good. They're not there to serve and protect. They're there to always show up when just something bad happens. This is the relationship that we have with police in our neighborhoods. They don't know the community. They don't know what black folks are living from this particular experience. They don't understand that, nor do they want to learn, because there's definitely been enough time for things to be in place to where at this point in the ball game, as far as racism and police and black folks are concerned, the only reason why it's still the way that it is because that's the way they want it. And as much love as I give to folks who are really high in the political field and doing a lot of content about political policies and things that black folks can do at the polls, and understanding and being literate on legislation and things of, the Senate and the political side of this country. And it's definitely great to be educated about a lot of those things. Okay. I'm not saying don't. What I'm saying is all of these laws will never work for anybody black, because we were always just the help. We didn't count. So until they go back and fix that thing, all of the other knowledge and stuff that they share and the different ways that they can try to encourage us to stay faithful to the voting process, all those things are pretty much in vain if what we're doing is still trying to give support to the system that's murdering us on a daily basis. We need to change everything and drop it all down to nothing and collectively build it back up.